Well, good morning. My name is Randy. I own Brillon leather. Make leather tote bags, canvas, leather, belts, card holders, that kind of thing. But I'm not doing this video about the leather today. I want to tell you about my first craft fair and about Square payment system. When I signed up for the craft fair, I knew I had to buy some kind of a device to do payments or to receive payments. I signed up for Zelle because my bank has Zelle, and if anyone has same bank as me, they could pay me through Zelle. I have Venmo, so I was able to make another account on my Venmo for my business, and I did use that during the fair for one transaction. I had a couple cash transactions, not many, but most were on credit cards. So how I did it was I used the Square app. I used the Square app. I downloaded it onto my phone, signed up for Square through a link from another YouTuber, and what that enabled me to do was to either choose $20 off Square product or no fee, because when you do transactions, they're going to charge you a fee. Like, let's call it a couple percent. No fee for 180 days or your first $1,000 of sales. I chose that one, and I did spend some money on at Square. So you can get the card reader, the little square that fits into your, would be the charging jack. But I decided to purchase the Square reader, card reader. It's only a little skinny device, but I bought the base also, which is super heavy. You want to be blowing around, and it makes a nice stand. So I bought that. That was like $50. I set up my Square app, and the nice thing is I could take a photo of each of my items, put a description, put the price, put in how many I have, save, and it's in there. You can opt if you wanted to include tax, so I put the tax for my state, and all my items were taxable except the belts. In my state, they don't charge you for clothing, and the belt was the only thing that's considered and not taxable. All my other things I make were taxable. The Square reader, when you click the item, and I had, like I said, a photo of each one and a description, so I could just go through my list, find it, and what I did was the price I charged for an item, I also had on the item with a description of it and the price. So when they brought it up, I'd look at the description, and I knew I wrote those the exact same way I put them in my Square. So they were easy to find, plus I had the picture. Click it. Excuse me one sec. Click it. Add to cart. If that was the only item, it would add the tax for me and show me the total. I show it to the person, or tell them, how much it is with tax. Cash or card. They just go right up to my Square device. Either use their phone if they had Apple Pay, say, or just put their credit card on it, tap it, boom. I get the little arrow on my app. Or if they didn't have the chip, if they didn't have the tap, they could just insert the card. Same thing. It would show on the app how much, and then it says approved, done. Then it goes to the next page and asks if you want a receipt. It has option no receipt, text receipt, or email receipt. If it's email, you put in their email. Some of them, if they've used it, I think it already showed their phone number in there. All of mine said, nah, I don't need a receipt, because their bank's going to show them anyway. And that was it, done. So easy. Oh, that took the pressure off me, because I was really nervous about if this would work. I tried one at home. I had my wife buy a bookmarker or something, use her card. It went through, and then I gave her a refund. There was an option, and it went right back, and it showed on my Square page, because I go on my computer and pull it all up and see everything. And it showed that I gave her a refund, date, time, all that stuff. I was like, okay. So I had done that one transaction at home, then I went to the fair. I'm like, let's just do this. Let's see what happens. So easy. I was relieved. At the end of the day, I went home, I could look at my phone, see my sales, see which items I sold, how many, and then I had an option to get immediate payment sent to my bank, but they charge you a little bit extra for that. I said, nah, it's fine. I can wait. It was like, my fair was on Saturday. I think Monday I was already getting text or email from Square saying about my payment, and I checked on Tuesday and it was in the bank already, and they gave me the full amount. They didn't take out the amount that they would have, because like I said, I signed up for that option to not have any fees for the first $1,000 of transactions. So I am able to offer that link to any of you. If you want to sign up for Square and you use my link, it's going to go through, it's going to work, because I did it from someone else's link, and it was easy beans, man. So I'll put the link in the description if you have thoughts of signing up for Square and you want to save some money. So that was my reason to make up this video today. I wanted to tell you about Square. I know there's a few on YouTube about Square. Some are better at explaining how to set it up, and we'll show you. Oh, and there was also a thing for, you could put in some discounts. Say you wanted to have one in there for like $5 off, or family 10% off or something. I put that in. I couldn't find it because I was so wound up my first craft fair. I couldn't find it, and everybody was cool with helping me out and support, and they were going to pay the full anyway. So we just let that go. So I got to work on how to go from my cart to adding in the discounts. If I desire to do that. It's in there. I can see it. I can find it. But when I was people in the booth, and it was kind of like my first one, I was a little ramped up. So anyway, it's there. There's so much that you can do with the app. For me, I just had it basic, and it was smooth. I'll learn more about it. I'll do more things, and it may be in the future I'll do another video, but this was just to tell you about my experience with the Square, and offer you a link if you want to save some money like I am right now, while I use the device. It was on Bluetooth on my phone. Perfect. I didn't have any problems with it. I was outside. There was no Wi-Fi there, and it was smooth. It went good. So if you have any comments or a question I can answer, leave it in my comments, and I'll see them and I'll get back to you. But that was my video. I have another fair next month, but I think I'm going to jump one in between that, because it was a good experience, and the Square was so cool that my craft fair booth is my store. I have an Etsy, I have an eBay, but this for me was better. It was a good experience. So I'm going to do more of them, and I'm going to use the Square. So piece of cake. Thanks for watching. If you have any interest in seeing how I make these leather items, you can subscribe to my channel, check out my channel, and that's what my channel is about. But if you have a Square point of sale, POS, I guess they call it, a question on that, you can ask about it. Oh, one last thing, they do give you some stickers showing what credit cards they take. Almost all of my sales were with a card. Oh yeah, one more thing. I guess I have to disclose. I'm not sure if I said it on the first part of the video. If you do use my link to sign up for Square, we both get the benefit. $20 toward equipment or $1,000 of sales with no service charge, which I said was like around 2%. I forget the exact one. It's on their website. And when you sign up, you can read everything. But if you go through my link, you get it and I get also. So I'll put that in my description and disclosure for YouTube. But it's cool. It doesn't cost you any more to use my link, and we both get the benefit. So I guess I have to explain that a little better. But that's the deal, and it worked for me. So and the person I signed up from, I told them that I signed up, under them, and they were excited because they got the same deal I got. So anyway, that's what I wanted to include. Have a great day.